it's Sam. So I recently showed on Instagram that I got the new Game of Thrones Urban Decay collection, and so many people requested for an actual like full review on YouTube. Even though I swatched it on Instagram, I think so many of you guys were like super excited for a full-on in-depth review. So I have tested out these products. I have given them a good go to see what I like, what are my favorites, what are misses. I'm just gonna go ahead and share everything with you guys today. Everyone was mostly excited about the Game of Thrones eyeshadow palette. This retails for $65. There are 20 shades altogether, kind of as if it's like a book. So it's quite thick. I have to say, as far as a palette goes, you're not going to want to travel with this thing. It is massive. It's also a little clunky and awkward to hold when you are doing your makeup. So as far as just like functionality, I don't think it's ideal, but I think this is more of like, I'm assuming a lot of people will buy this just as like a collector's piece. I have to be honest, I've never even seen an episode of Game of Thrones. I have no clue about Game of Thrones. So I'm purely just basing this off of makeup and like what I think about the colors. A lot of you guys were trying to fill me in on like some of the, there's like a little wolf thing and then the dragon eggs on one of the palettes. But the only thing that I know about Game of Thrones is that I'm pretty sure there's like a hot fellow in there. I think after seeing how many people were like, oh my God, why don't you watch it? I think I need to start. But the actual palette is got swords all over it. Of course, it has this that says Game of Thrones Urban Decay. On the side, it looks as if it is a book. And then on the back, it just has the throne or the swords. And then it also says, it says HBO and all that kind of stuff. So then you open it up and you have the mirror, which is a big mirror. And then you have this little, I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce any of these names. Lannister, Targaryen, Baratheon, Stark, Tyrell. They're all just spokes on a wheel. This one's on top, then that one's on top, and on it spins, crushing those on the ground. And then I think her name is Daenerys Targaryen. So it looks like it's kind of like a map, I think. Yeah, looks like a map. It's really pretty. Like, look how beautiful it is. And then the mirror is really huge. And then you open this up and it looks like this. So it's really cool. It has like a ton of swords. And then it also has another little plaque in here at the bottom, right there. And this one says, never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor and it can never be used to hurt you. Tyrion Lannister. So that's what that says. I think my camera's having a hard time because it's metallic. Then you have this little drawer right here. And this is the actual palette itself. So this is what you're actually gonna get your shadows on. And it is really beautiful because each section, it's like sectioned off. So like this is like the kind of blue section, and then you have like the kind of purpley, and then the warm kind of golden, and then the kind of reddish purple tones down here. So I like how it has like the 4 different sections. It's really cool. And then each one has one like circle, and then you have the 4 different shadows in each section. So there's 20 altogether, but can you see how it's kind of an awkward palette to hold because it is so wide. So that would be my only complaint as far as the palette goes. It's just so bulky and awkward, especially if you have small hands like I do. It's just like a little bit like, I found myself, do I rest it on the box? Do I keep it in the box? Do I just hold it like this? Like, it's a little bit awkward. So this one right here is called Take the Black. This is a jet black with iridescent micro shimmer. So it's amazing, you guys. The swatches of these are absolutely insane. Then we have White Walker, which is a blue shift. So that one, yeah, it's kind of like almost like an opal. Frozen North. This one is a deep teal with iridescent micro shimmer. Look how pretty that one is. That one's amazing. Then we have Free Folk, and that one is a silver metallic. So out of those, I feel like all of them are really nice except for this the White Walker. That one's a little bit chalky. Moving on to the next little section. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do Hard Home. Naughty me, I'll do that on my thumb. So that one is what Hard Home looks like, and that one is described as a sparkling white transformer shade. So I used this in my inner corner, and I have to say I wasn't super excited with it. It really didn't do a whole lot, so I think this might be better on top of another color, like right in the center, to just kind of like change it. I mean, it is a transformer shade, so I think that's probably what it's meant to do, because when I just put it, it's kind of chunky. It just didn't seem to like do what I was wanting it to do. So I feel like next time I'm gonna put it on the lid, and I might just do that in this video. Actually, I'm just gonna do it right now. it just didn't really do what I was hoping it would do. So that one was kind of like a wah, wah, wah. Okay, so then next we have Nymeria. This is described as a warm terracotta matte. That's what I have in my crease today. Then we have Winter is here. This is a dark brown with iridescent micro shimmer. That one is beautiful. Weirwood Leaves, which is a deep plum satin. Again, really beautiful. And then the Sight is a metallic green with iridescent micro shimmer. Amazing. These ones are all absolutely beautiful, swatch really nice. And Winterfell I actually have on my lid right now, and Winterfell is spectacular. It is such a metallic, beautiful kind of khaki green shade. All of those ones are amazing. I was not disappointed with any of those shades whatsoever. The mattes are so creamy and beautiful. They just like glide on like butter. So far, like look at those. So pigmented. We have Red Keep, which is a warm copper metallic, which is beautiful. Then we have Casterly Rock, which is a dark bronze metallic, right there. House Lannister is a peach matte, which I also have in my crease. That's the first one I put down. Absolutely beautiful. Like you could use that alone without anything else, just for a super natural look, and it's absolutely beautiful. Like it's so amazing. Then we have Lannister Red, which is a burgundy brick matte. Look at the pigmentation of these, you guys. And then last but not least, we have King's Landing, which I also have in the center of my lid on top of the Winterfell. Look at all those. They're just so beautiful. So far, the only ones that I haven't been too impressed with were the White Walker and the Hard Home. But everything else has been really, really impressive. Okay, and then last but not least, we have this kind of more reddish toned colors or purple. So first we have Stormborn, which is a purple metallic with iridescent micro shimmer. Then we have House Targaryen. God, all the Game of Thrones people are gonna be like, how dare you pronounce it wrong? I'm so sorry, you guys. Then we have Dothraki, if I've said that right, which is a really pretty, oh, I'm sorry. So this one was a pale rose gold metallic. This one is a gold metallic. Then we have Bend the Knee, which is a lilac with a blue shift. That one's really pretty actually, like, ooh, so nice. And then we have Bay of Dragons, which is a sparkling pink transformer shade, and that one does have kind of a shift in it. That Bend the Knee is so beautiful. It's like, the shift of it is so pretty. So those are all of the swatches there. So as you can see, they are all so beautiful. I mean, really, even the ones that I'm like, they're just not quite as pigmented or creamy as the others. It's not that they're bad, it's just that compared to the other ones are so pigmented and so impressive that I just was a little bit like, oh, is that it? So let me get up nice and close for you. So there's a lot of shades to work with there. I mean, you can see the glow that they have. The mattes are so creamy, they're super buttery. They blend out really, really nicely when I was working with them on my eyes. So I was really impressed working with them. I thought that they did, sorry, my chair is like so creaky. I thought they did a beautiful job when I was actually using them this morning. I was really impressed. It was just that one Hard Home that I was like, oh, I just wanted it to be a little bit more of a pop in the inner corner, and it just like wasn't. So that would be the only thing that I was just kind of like a little bit bummed out about. If I could recommend one thing to you guys, it would definitely be the palette. That was the thing that I was the most excited about when I opened the box. Like, it's worth the money. It's $65, but you're getting so many different shades, and they're all so beautiful, and you have a lot of different ones to work with. You can create a lot of different looks with it. There's some warm, there's some cool, there's some neutral, and then they have the matte and like the really metallic, and as well as like the shifts. So I feel like you have a really good, sorry, I'm just like wiping off all these swatches before I get it all over my dress. The House Lannister and the Nymeria, those are everyday colors. You can always wear those in your crease. The Lannister Red is absolutely beautiful if you want to create that really kind of like warm burgundy kind of reddish eye, which I love. But then you also have like these cooler tones, and then you have the more kind of like, you know, emeraldy kind of gem tones. So you have a lot of really good ones to choose from, especially with these ones down here. I feel like those are very spring appropriate. So I think the palette itself is absolutely great. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the brushes. So these brushes are so cute. They're little swords. So if you watched my Instagram story, then you know that Phoenix and I had a little sword fight with them. He loved it. He has the actual PR box. He was super excited about this whole collection just because it was like, oh, it has swords on it. Like normally the stuff that I get is like, it's a little foofy, you know? And this one was like, wow, that's so cool, it's swords. And so he had a good time unboxing it with me and doing a bunch of swatches. So if you missed that, I'm sorry, it was the cutest Instagram story ever. So this one is Jon Snow's Longclaw. This is what it looks like. So the actual brush is, it looks like a sword. And then this little guy right here, like look at the detailing of that. So that is really cool. So it looks like a sword and they're pretty heavy. And then this is the actual brush itself. And then the other one is called the Arya Stark's Needle. And I just feel like these I probably would never use just because I think they're so darn cute that I wouldn't want to get the brush dirty because they really are kind of fun. Like I could see these being a little collector's piece, you know, for people who are like super big fans. So that's what the whole thing looks like. And then that is what the brush looks like. The brushes retail for $28. Those ones are awesome. I mean, obviously I wouldn't buy it based on the brush because Urban Decay, well, I think the actual hair is soft. I've never been a fan of Urban Decay brushes. The shape of them is just not my favorite. So I would not buy this for the brush. If I was a fan of the show, I'd buy it just for the fact that these are really cool. But as far as like using it, I don't think I would do it for that. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. And then next we have this little palette. So this one is the Game of Thrones Mother of Dragons highlighter palette. Well, no wonder it was dragon eggs. Everyone was like Instagram messaging me like, it's dragon eggs, because I was like, oh, it looks like Easter eggs. I didn't even read the palette. So this one retails for $36. It's a highlighter palette. And I have to be honest, I don't love this. I tried it out this morning. The packaging itself is really cool. It looks like dragon scales. So it's really pretty and it has like a really cool like little ombre effect. It goes from kind of a green to kind of a bronze. So the actual packaging itself is pretty. The color choices in the palette are not my favorite. So you do have a big mirror and then you have these 3 shades right here. So that's what they look like on the inside. So they look like little dragon eggs, which is really cute. And we have swatched them already, but that's what they look like when, you know, it's not all messed up. And then this color right here is called, what is that? Drogon, Viserion, and Rigel. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these names. This is so pink, and I do have it on, and it, you know, it's nice. It's pretty. Like, it's not overly pink to where it's like, whoa, pink face, but it is a little bit more pink than what I would normally go for. But it is subtle. Like when you look at it here, you're like, oh my God, that's gonna be so pink. And I was so nervous. And then I put it on and I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit more subtle than I was expecting, but it is a little bit pinker than I normally would go for. And then this one right here, I think is definitely better on deeper skin tones. On me, it was like pretty golden. I did put it up here and it is really pretty. And I do have a self tan on right now. So it is like a nice kind of gold. It's just for me, it's a little golder than I normally go for. And I noticed that the actual texture of these highlights, they do pick up your pores or texture. So if you are looking for something that's gonna be like a really smoothing, like pore buffing, you know, there's highlighters out there that are just like so silky fine that they just kind of buff into the skin. And unfortunately, this is not the case with this. It definitely does pick up any kind of texture that you have. So I had to be really careful around here to kind of like really make sure that I like really kind of buffed it in, because it did want to just enhance all of the texture or pores that I have, especially in this area. So I don't think you'd want to bring it down too far if you have large pores here, because it's going to bring them, it's going to really enhance them a lot. I do have a little trick that I do whenever I have put something on and it's made my pores look like super intense. It sounds super weird, but trust me, it works. You get a little spoolie brush, just like what you would do with your eyebrows, and you just very carefully kind of brush over wherever you've put the highlighter that's a little bit too intense. Don't do it hard enough to where you're going to disturb your foundation, but just very, very carefully, just kind of like, just softly go over it, and it will take away that kind of like really enhanced texture look. I don't know what it is, but it works. So that's what I did, and I ended up making it look like a lot smoother and a lot less enhanced than it was when I first applied it. But like you'll probably notice what I mean when you use it. It's like, whoa. And then this one right here is just a little bit too dark for me. I could use it. I mean, it's like really, it's pretty dark. So if I put that on my forehead, I would be, every single pore, like everything would be showing, and I am not about that life. So those are the 3 swatches there. They catch the light really nicely, but you can see like that one's pretty pink, that one's pretty gold, and that one's definitely bronze. So those, if you like a pink highlight, you're gonna love this. If you like a gold highlight, you're gonna love this. If you like a really good bronze highlight and you have a really pretty dark, deep skin tone, this is gonna be beautiful. But personally for me, I just feel like the tones are off from what I normally go for. I go for like a really, really light, kind of champagne-y, vanilla highlight, and these are obviously not that at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put these on my arm for you guys. So you can see, like they really are beautiful, but that one is definitely a bit too deep. And because of the texture, I would not want to use this as a bronzer because I feel like it would just highlight everything that I don't want to highlight. A little bit too metallic. It's kind of like a thicker, it's a little chunkier highlight than what I would prefer if I was going to bronze up my face. I just turned off my light. I just wanted to see without the light what it looks like so you guys can really see how pink that one is. It's kind of like almost like an opal pink. It's a little bit cool toned. Normally if I go for a pink, it's more of like a golden kind of like rosy gold pink, and this one is more of a blue toned pink. And I feel like sometimes those can look a little harsh on the skin, especially if you are like self-tanned and I'm trying to create like a warm tone. It just looks a little like, oh, but it still looks pretty. I mean, I still look at the highlight and I'm like, oh, okay, it looks nice. Like it turned out pretty. It's just not a color that I normally like to do, but I think it is really pretty for spring. So I think that's just gonna be personal preference. For the most part, I would say that this palette is more for someone with at least my color and darker, and I self-tan. So if you are super fair, I don't know if you're gonna get any use out of this palette. It just really is meant for medium to dark skin tones. I don't think it's good for fair tones. So, and this one was $36. Would this be something that I would purchase with my own money if I didn't get this collection? No, just because the tones are not there and it just enhances my texture a little bit too much. If you use the trick, it's okay, you can still get away with it. It's just for me, if it enhances my texture and it's not the color I want, it's really not worth it for me. If it enhances my texture but the color is just like yes, then I'll do my little trick and it's not that big of a deal. But for me, the colors are just not what I prefer, so this one is a no for me. But I think there's gonna be some people out there that really love it and the tones are perfect for them. It's just not perfect for me, and that's okay. That's what makeup's all about. So next we have the liners. Now, I have been a huge fan of Urban Decay liners from the beginning. They are so good. I probably own, well, let me just show you. Might as well. This is my mug of Urban Decay liners. I love them. They are amazing. They're creamy. You can put them on your lid. You can put them on your waterline. If you have oily lids, they're not gonna budge. They're not gonna smudge. They're not gonna, go up to the top of your eyebrow. If you have sensitive eyes and you put them in your waterline, you will have no problem. So their liners are an absolute must-have. So this is just gonna be whether or not you like the colors. They just kind of have this really each one is a different color. So this is kind of, I think, is it still Dragon Scales? I don't know if it's Dragon Scales, but that one's red. This one is called Dragon Smoke. Oh yeah, so it must be Dragon Scales. Then we have this one, it's called Winterfell Snow. And it's got like autumn leaves and then kind of a wintry theme of like snow and, icicle branches. Lannister Gold, which has like, it looks like a bunch of swords or gold treasure, I'm not really sure, but that's what that one looks like. The Night King, it looks just like an icy blue something or other. I'm really not sure what that scene is, but it just looks like a cold forest. So these ones retail for $22. They're the Glide On Eye Pencils. And for $22, these things will last you such a long time. So I think that these are absolutely worth it. If I didn't have these and there was a specific color that I was like, oh my God, I need, I would absolutely buy these. I think they're absolutely worth $22. So you can't go wrong with any of the liners, whether it's this collection or whether it's just their regular liners, they're all amazing. So that's what this one looks like, and it's all sparkly. Like the whole entire tube is just glittery. It says Game of Thrones. It's kind of like that ombre from like a really dark blue to a super icy blue. This one is the Winterfell Snow. This one goes from ombre light, kind of almost like a white icy blue, to the really, really dark. Lannister Gold, which is obviously kind of beigey gold tones. There we go. And then we have the Dragon Smoke, which is really, really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these all for you guys. So Dragon Smoke is described as a smoky holographic black. And basically, I'll get up close in a sec. It's a black liner, but then it has like a shift of like purpley kind of pink. I mean, it says that it's a smoky holographic black, but it does, it shifts and it has like little sparkles in it, which is really pretty. I did put it on my lid and the glitters, I think it's because I already had so many shimmers on there anyway. I couldn't tell the glitters, so I think this would be something that you'd want to use by itself or without a shimmery shadow, because I can't see the glitters because there's just like so much going on. But they're so creamy. I mean, they're really beautiful. Then we have the Night King, and this one's like a super intense, kind of like a teal. Let's see what they say it is. This one is a shimmery dark teal. So yeah, and it does have shimmer, so when you kind of move, you can see it has that really metallic kind of beam. Then we have the Lannister Gold, and this one is super metallic. It's like bing, bing. So this one is described as a metallic gold, which it is. It's like, but it's not a yellow gold, it's more of like a white gold. And then last but not least, we have the Winterfell Snow. And this one is super pretty, but kind of subtle. This one is more of like a little kind of, it's kind of like a aqua sparkly liner. So it's kind of hard to tell in the, it's not gonna show. In real life, it's really beautiful, but it is a iridescent white. It's definitely not white. It's definitely more of like an aqua blue, but it is really pretty. And I think it would be something that just kind of like, I don't know if it's gonna show up a whole lot. I think it might be something that you might just wanna wear alone, just for a little like pop of something in the spring. There we go. So those are the shades you can see there. And they are so beautiful, but very different. Let me turn on the light now so you guys can see. Let's just see if you can tell. And it is raining its butt off here. You can see how metallic that gold one is. Like, it really catches the light super beautifully. So now we have the lipsticks. I am wearing one of them. Is it on my tooth? I sure hope not. So I am wearing the Game of Thrones Sansa Stark, and it's a sheer. I think this is the one that someone said it's like a wolf. Is his name Drake? I can't remember. But do you see there's like a little beast on there? And I'm pretty sure someone told me that that was the wolf. You Game of Thrones fans, you'll know what this is, but that's what the packaging looks like. So it is like a peach, and it's quite a dark peach, I would say. It's not super duper light. It's a little bit darker than I would like, and it is a sheer formula, but you can see like that's quite peach, and I have it on with a liner underneath, but you know, it's quite orangey. It's definitely a little bit more orangey peach than I would normally go for, and that was kind of like what I found with the lipstick. The colors just weren't my colors, and I don't think it's anything to do with the quality of the product or anything other than the fact that I just am not a fan of the colors. I know that I won't wear these. And these ones retail for $19. This next one is called Daenerys. Oh my god, I really just need to Google how you say her name.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Daenerys Targaryen. Is that how you do?
Daenerys Targaryen.
Daenerys Targaryen. Wow, I was way off. So that's what this lipstick is called. So sorry, I don't know these things, you guys. Fiery metallic red, and it is metallic. It's actually really pretty. The shimmers are just like quite delightful. It is a cool toned red, so it is gonna make your teeth look nice and white, as you can see there. And then this packaging is really pretty. It has, I think it's a dragon. Looks like dragons to me. But yeah, so yeah, that one's really pretty. I like that one. That shade, actually, like I could rock that. I just never wear dark lips because as I get older, I have lip lines because I whistle way too much. Anything that is not matte tends to bleed down my little lip lines, and so it's not cute by the end of the day, so I just don't bother. Even when I wear lip liner, it happens. Then we have Cersei Lannister. This is metallized, and this one is a bright metallic bronze. I'm really hoping that I said that right. Cersei. That sounds like I said it right. So that one is a true bronze, like no doubt about it. That's just straight up bronze. I just don't feel like it's a color that I would ever wear. I think this is great. Like these type of colors, I personally think are beautiful on people with deeper skin tones. I just think that they just look really nice when you have a darker, richer skin tone. Personally on me, it just doesn't look good, so that's not a color that I would really ever go for. And then the last color is the White Walker. This is a deep berry wine, and this is a comfort matte. And I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you what the peachy one was. This one is described as a warm peach nude. So White Walker is really beautiful. Actually, it is a matte, so there's no shimmer in there whatsoever. And you can see it is just like a really deep berry. And it basically looks exactly like a glass of wine. And you can see it is really pigmented. You can see that shine on the peach color. It is a sheer, so it is gonna be more of kind of a gloss finish. And then these ones are metallized, and then that one is matte. So those are the colors there. I'll just back up so you guys can see a better angle. Really beautiful, all really, really pretty. It's just whether or not those are colors that you would normally wear. For me, they're not. Those are my thoughts, but they're all really creamy. The texture is beautiful. The quality is really, really nice. And I think the packaging is also really fun. And then last but not least, we do have one more product. So this is the packaging, and I'm sorry, all of the packaging looks exactly like the lipstick with the actual lipsticks. So they're all like actual, like this one's gold. That one has the wolf beast. So this one is the Lip and Cheek Stain Dracarys, $26. It's also a lip stain though, so you could use this. I think this would be really pretty in the summertime as a lip stain. I just don't really care for cheek stains. I think it's okay if you're gonna be wearing like very minimal makeup and you're just kind of putting a tinted moisturizer on and then you're just gonna dab a little bit on the cheeks and you're just gonna go to the pool or the beach. But as far as like doing the full-on glam, I just don't really care for cheek stains. They're not my favorite. But lip stains I think are fun, and I'll probably just take this off for you guys and then I'll put it on my lips so you guys can see what it looks like. But this, it just kind of looks like a little like thing of blood. It's a little dropper and then you just drop out. It's kind of the color of strawberry juice, like when you get strawberries and then you spill a little bit. It's like a really pretty, just kind of strawberry color. And it is quite sheer. It's not overwhelming to where you're like, dang, cheek stain. Like it's very subtle. So you can see it just adds a little bit of a pinky glow, but nothing majorly. And the actual texture of it is quite nice. I'm assuming if you just put some onto the back of your hand and then just kind of tap it on another finger. I love the way it feels on the lips because it's not sticky. It's not greasy. It just feels like you're just tapping like water, but it's like quite hydrating. I could see how like this would be really beautiful with super minimal makeup, and you just kind of want to give your lips like a really bitten kind of like just super youthful, fresh. Like, oh, I'm so minimal. I don't do anything. I wake up and I just look perfect. I think this would be beautiful as well, like for people who already have plump lips and don't need to like put liner on and stuff. Like obviously I put liner on to like overline my lips. Like if you've already got some juicy lips, like this would be so beautiful with some clear gloss. Yeah, that's actually really pretty. And then you don't have to worry about anything coming off. This is just a clear NARS lip balm. And I'm just gonna hit it on top just to add a little bit of a gloss. See how natural that looks? Like if you are going for a super beachy, natural, like, oh, I wake up like this is really pretty because it just gives you like that really pretty natural, like just bitten kind of lip color that when you're young and you have that natural kind of like really pretty berry tone to your lips, as we get older, it just tends to fade out. And I feel like this is really beautiful. So there's my thoughts on the collection. I think if I had to choose only one thing, it would definitely be the palette. That for me was the one that stood out the most. Lipsticks, if they're your tone, they're great. The eyeliners, I don't think you can go wrong with. This tint, I didn't think I was actually gonna like it at all, but I think on the lips, it's actually really beautiful because it looks like it's gonna be like really intense, but it's very, very sheer. The highlighter palette for me, it was a miss just because of the colors. And it just is a little chunkier. It's not quite as fine as I like for highlighters. So that would be the only thing that I'd kind of be a little, I don't want to say disappointed in, but I just know that I won't really use it very often. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys found it helpful and enjoyed. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this. If you are a Game of Thrones fan, this is for you. I mean, I don't know if it's something that you guys, let me know. Is this something that you guys would like buy as a collector's item if you're Game of Thrones fans? Or is it something that you would buy to use? Because I'm really not sure. Because Jay was like, I think this is something that people would buy for like collectors. And I'm like, I have no idea. Obviously, because we're not Game of Thrones fans. I think we might have to be now because everyone has like, how do you not watch this show? So I think we might have to add that to our list of things to watch. For me, I'm looking at this as makeup, not as a Game of Thrones fan. I'm literally just looking at it for the quality of the makeup, the colors, and that's really all. And then of course the packaging. The packaging is cool, but I have no connection to it, so I'm not like biased because I love the show. To me, I'm just basing it solely off of the makeup quality and the colors and what I think about that. So hopefully that's helped the fact that I'm not a fan, because now I can give a really true, honest review. I mean, I always do anyway, but like I'm not swayed in either way because I don't even know what the show's about. But yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful, and if you did, let me know. Are you a Game of Thrones fan? And also, what is the most exciting piece out of this collection? What are you most interested in trying out? Whether or not you are a fan. If you're a fan, what is like the biggest cool thing? And if you're not a fan, what are you most excited about anyway? So let me know down below. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And thank you guys for watching. Mwah.